are playing a Mortician's Tale. I picked this up via an itch.io bundle I backed ages ago. September 14th, 10:15 a.m. Hey, this is cute. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director, from Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, Matthew J., Funeral Director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. From Amy to Rose and Daughters staff. Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie, as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Sincerely, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose. From Jen Love. Oh, I guess my... Good luck to you, beautiful and smart babe, you. Guess my subject line is you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry because, as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I cannot believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not like London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a Funerals Monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I'm super proud of you gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L. Oh my god, she sounds adorable. From Amy Rose to Charlie, today's tasks. Hello, Charlie. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly and he's glad to have somebody young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral so no embalming or body prep is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if it's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take time to clean her body. No one's going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon, Amy. Oh! Tired. Thank you so much for the community subs. They're going out to all kinds of people today. From Funerals Monthly to subscriber. Tips for good etiquette at a funeral. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that. But here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. 1. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this is a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even be just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and helpful. Aw, sweet. One of the things that I actually found out about funerals is that families will be swimming in food for the first week, 2 weeks. About a month out, though, if you're the person that drops by with the casserole, that earns you real goodwill points. Oh, and they've got a tab up for the funeral home. Here at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home, we're committed to providing loved ones with the best and most affordable funeral services in the area. We offer a diverse range of personalized funeral service options to fit every need. Burial with open casket ceremony and reception, $5,985. Burial with closed casket ceremony and reception, $4,275. Cremation with ceremony and reception, $1,700. Direct burial with no ceremony or reception, $1,905 all-inclusive. Direct cremation with no ceremony or reception, $600 all-inclusive. My ass will be getting cremated. Rose and Daughters Funeral Home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services for all. I'm proud to have carried on my family's business for the last 36 years, working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you've recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. Okay. So, we need to find the prep room. Another email? I just handled these. Oh, okay, we had to click the auto response. So now we have a lady on a table. Ms. Garcia of the heart attack. This is the prep room where you prepare for burials and viewings. Because the family requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you just clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. Aw, okay. That makes sense. You want to go into the afterlife all squeaky clean. That's it, you're done. Miss Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it's also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. I kind of think the layout of the camera is endearing. I guess we just work our way around the room. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. Yeah, I guess. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things, at least that's what I was always taught. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Oh, he's hungry. I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that's known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Alright, so October 11th, 10 a.m. From Jennifer Valentine. I'm so frustrated right now. Let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with dysopterosis, which is where the organs fall to the lower part of the stomach, right? Which is like super unsettling, but it can also be caused by being pregnant, so... TLDR, corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage, and I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. Having a day, Charlie. Jen. Okay, and then that was at 5 a.m. So at 4 a.m. we got another email. Can I rant for just a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, cough, male colleagues, cough, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyways. And, like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. Jen. Alright, and then Amy sent us, here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. The family was very happy. No small feat. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man, died of old age. Nothing fancy, just standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lizzie if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Best, Amy. Yes, Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew. He knows. And then forward, sincerely thank you, passing this message along from Mia Garcia. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way, and I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. And I know Nubis, I really like Rose as well. She seems very sweet. And corsets can be great. Traditionally, corsets were used to help shift the weight of the bust off the shoulders and onto the hips. And they can be incredibly comfortable, especially for larger busted people. I've worn them occasionally. I'll also wear something like a waist cincher for back support. They can be very helpful. A story about death from Matthew. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff, messed me and my friends up real good. But, so the big day, hang on, there's going to be a pop. We all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know how not to get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyway, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one that got off the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling, because, go figure. Life is messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered the story and wanted to tell you. Because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came later and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture, from Funerals Monthly. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, refrain from making inappropriate jokes, at least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of that's knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. And if you're attending a funeral that's from a culture not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it's less about the color you're wearing and more about how modestly you're dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you're attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible. Even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you appropriately show your respects. Oh, shoot. You have to go back to the email and do the auto response. There we go. But it involves stuff like caber tosses and that kind of thing. Traditional burials require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing. Unless requested otherwise, all traditional burials are embalmed. So we start by cleaning the body. Clean his ears, because old man ears are sticky. Squeegee the corpse. Okay. Wait, why do we have to shave his chest? I don't like that. In order to break rigor mortis, you have to massage the body. Okay. Did not expect that, but that makes sense, I guess. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each socket to give it shape. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. So drag the glue onto each eye to shut them. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Stuff cotton balls in the mouth to give it shape. You take a needle and thread and you suture inside the lips. Lotion the body to moisturize it so the skin doesn't dry out. Open an incision. Grab the tubing. And the cannula is how you get the embalming fluid in. Drag the tubing cannula. There we go. Stop that. Click the button to turn into one. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you have to massage them through the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Embalming in. Corpse juices out. We got this. I know, this is actually really cool. So I watched a lot of, oh shit, what is her name on YouTube? Like Ask a Mortician? Lovely goth lady. I think she's in California. And she covers a lot of this stuff. Okay, so now we sew up the incision. Almost done. You need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. That's the trocar. Okay. So we're siphoning fluids out of the insides. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park and play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Our respects, we don't have to sign the guest book. We don't blame the kid. Funerals are awful and I avoid them as much as possible. It's so strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals. So mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. Because I think red is like the marriage color. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yep, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and the next, poof, that person is gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about it too long. Like staring at the sun. I start to feel fuzzy when I think about it. It's so weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. Fuck all the people.